Please describe yourself and your work.
My name is Musie Tilahun Yirga. I'm from Ethiopia. I'm working as executive director for the local society in Ethiopia called Ethiopian Lawyers with Disabilities Association. And my organization is mainly working on three pillars of work. The first one is empowerment of the rights of persons with disabilities. We empower the capacity of persons with disabilities to be aware of their rights, to demand their human rights from any person or anybody or a government. And again, on the other hand, we are also working on building the capacity of different actors in the legal system so that the legal system should to be accessible for persons with disabilities, because most of people with disabilities in Ethiopia have not the right. Of course, they have the right by constitution, but on the ground they cannot access the justice system. So we try to alleviate all those problems in relation with accessibility by raising awareness among the actors of the justice system, which includes police, public prosecutor, judge, and other relevant actors. Secondly, we are also working on advocacy. We advocate for the realization of disability rights in our country, and our advocacy is mainly based on the research that we are conducting, because our advocacy should be based on evidence, because we are professionals, we are lawyers. So based on our knowledge, based on the evidence that we are producing, we'll have to devise strategies for advocacy. Thirdly, we are also immensely working on providing free legal aid service for persons with disabilities who claim that their rights are violated, be it a criminal or any civil suit. We can file a case at courts representing those persons with disabilities, or we may also consult them or mediate the issue with anybody involved in the case, or we may also negotiate for the respect and protection of the rights of person with disability who brings his case to our office. So these are the main works that we are focusing on.
What are some of the biggest hurdles or problems that you have faced?
Personally, of course, since I am a person with disabilities, the main challenge that I am daily facing is the stigma or the negative attitude of the community. You know, in a developing country, or maybe in a society where I am living, there are a number of negative attitudes entrenched among the society, among the people that I am living in. And again, most of those issues are related with the charity-based attitude of the population. Most of the time, people in our community are not thinking that persons with disabilities have potential abilities, or disability is a social contract or a social construct which has been created within the minds of people. But in our community, most of the time, disability is a result of wrath of God or sin or like that. So almost 70-80% of the population believe disability is the result of such kinds of reasons. So it's a deep-rooted attitude where I have to face that, or sometimes I ignore and I try to focus on my work. Of course, there are some hopes, there are some signs of change in the community, because I could not deny that over the last 20 years there are some changes, but the main problem is the attitude. And again, on the government side, there are institutional and legal and policy level challenge or problems. So we have to we have to fight for the change of the policy and for the amendment of the law, which are detrimental for the rights of persons with disabilities. These are some of the issues that can be seen as challenges that I'm facing every day.
What are some of your solutions for solving these problems?
The first one is enabling myself and building my capacity, maximizing my confidence, my exposure to a number of international and national disability related movements and personalities. And I believe in myself. I believe that I can do everything that every person can do if there is favorable condition, and even challenge and hurts and obstacles, may create you in a good manner. So I don't hate them, of course. I could not say that I love them, but I enjoy them because they create me a good opportunity to ask me myself whether I'm able to do this or I may fail. So failure, of course, sometimes failure may come, but it's not the end of the story, to my personal opinion. So most of the time, I try to expose myself, to build myself, to learn from the challenge, and again, I want to create allies and friends from all the side, maybe the government or NGOs or partners or even my personal friends. So these are my mechanisms to face or to challenge any obstacles that I encounter every day.
What type of solution is ELDA proposing to make the situation better for people with disabilities throughout all of society?
Yeah, this is a good question, by the way. Actually, sometimes you have to be a person with a paradigm shift. We have been working for the last 30 years or 40 years in Ethiopia, mainly focusing on development. Disability inclusion was the key issue for the last 20 and 30 years. But having invested $1 million on, raising awareness, making available trainings for stakeholders, for teachers, university instructors or trainers, and again working on inclusive health issues. Of course, we got some change, but it's not enough in comparison with the investment we did over the last 30 years. So, to my opinion, and my colleagues brought ELDA into the ground. Of course, I am not among the first co-founders, but I joined the organization early after the establishment. So we believe that all solutions can be obtained if we are actively engaged in rights advocacy. So the main thing is, first, we have to alert persons with disabilities to know their rights. We have to motivate them to demand their rights. And again, every person with disabilities, if possible, through trainings and awareness creation campaigns, if possible, he should, be engaged in advocating at least at family level about his capacity, about the exposure that he should gain. So advocacy is the tool for persons with disabilities to demand their rights. So the advocacy strategy may be differ from one area to the other area. So we may, for instance, work in the rural area with CBOs. CBOs means community-based organizations, with elderly people, with politicians sometimes in the parliament. We try, actually at this time, we are trying to create a fund of disability among the parliamentarians. So these are some of the solutions that we devised in terms of awareness. On the other hand, the main thing that, to my opinion, that can ensure the realization of the rights of persons with disabilities in our country is having a comprehensive disability law. We didn't have this law, but if we acquire the law with proper provisions, we can, enforce all those obligations that our country has been part of the CRPD convention. Under the Convention for the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, my country has ratified the convention 14 years ago. But because we did not have an enforcing mechanism, or we did not have a local law which increases the enforceability of the CRPD, all provisions are on the paper without any implementation. So, under the comprehensive law, we try to incorporate a number of crucial things like establishment of an independent disability commission to monitor, to maybe to follow up, and to bring enforceability of the provisions of the CRPD under its mandates to be enacted or to be provided under the upcoming Comprehensive Disability Act. So the second solution is actively participate in a way to have a legal reform in the disability rights arena. Thirdly, as a solution, we are professionals, we are lawyers. We have gone through a number of challenges, but we are good at this time. We have good salary, be it very enough or not, that is another question. At least we cannot beg, or we cannot wait others to help us in terms of giving us our bread. So the next step would be just try to start living for others. Okay, there are millions of persons with disabilities who are left behind their doors. Even there are millions of children with disabilities who are not exposed to the sunshine at least for a day. So this is our commitment. So based on our professional capacity, our services should be available for free for this community. So under this motto, under this team, we are about 214 lawyers at this time. So as a solution, we are trying to make available our professional services in the form of, research, free legal aid service, just standing for those persons with disabilities as lawyers in court. So these are some of the solutions that we devised.
Why is it important for people with disabilities to work with the political system?
Yeah, this is a perfect question because, as you know, political participation is one of the fundamental human rights of persons in every country. And for persons with disabilities, it means a lot because politically, being a political official or being an active participant in a politics means getting an opportunity to decide. Okay, decision making cannot be ensured without being actively participating in a politics or in a public life. So for persons with disabilities, the main thing is bringing a change at an institutional and policy and legal level. At law, bringing new laws or amending the previous ones, having good policy. So these all things which need more political participation. So because you have to be a decision-making person if you get a political position at any place. It may be at the executive, it may be at the legislative. So for persons with disabilities, if we are talking about right is the best thing that we can ensure our existence, it cannot be, it cannot be ensured without having participated in politics. So, taking this into account, we try to reach out political parties in our country. Of course, as you know, it was in 2019 that a government has been changed and a reform has been made in the country, and following the reform there were new laws introduced by the government, which includes the election law of 2019. The election law brought a number of changes in our country. It incorporated, though it is not enough, a number of provisions devoted for the issues of persons with disabilities, and it encourages the participation of persons with disabilities in a way that gives a financial subsidy for those political parties who bring persons with disabilities as candidates. So we have to exploit this opportunity. So we approached at least two parties at this time so that they can, revisit their policies, political manifesto, working procedure, attitude of their central committee members, and again, physical accessibility of their offices and branch offices, so that persons with disabilities are able to be part of their political parties. So in this context, we have received good, response from two at least national parties in our country. So in the future, we are preparing to implement a new project with NDI at this time on this context. So in the near future, we are going to engage in raising the awareness of the central committee members of the political parties, and we conduct an assessment on the organizational inclusiveness and accessibility of political parties. And on the other hand as well, we are also engaging in maximizing the capacity of organizational persons with disabilities, so that they will motivate their members for voting and to be running for election as well. So that's why we are engaging with political parties.
How has partnering with NDI helped with your work to promote inclusion of people with disabilities in Ethiopia?
Yeah. By the way, NDI is the first organization to support ELDA since its establishment, and we have a special place in our heart for NDI, because no one has given a trust except NDI. At that time, we were very, very unexperienced organization. In 2021, we have only a resource came from the membership fee of our members, which is not more than maybe $1,000. So at that time, through the embassy in Ethiopia, we got an opportunity to write a concept note, and we submitted that, and NDI has approved without any hesitation, simply reviewing, I think, the content of the project, the small grant project. So since that time, we have been working with NDI for the last two rounds of small grants. In two grants, we achieved a number of goals, actually, I would say, at organizational and at objective of the organizational level. On one hand, we implemented the first project focusing on, training judges and administrative staff of the Supreme Court, raising awareness among persons with disabilities. At least we started our free legal aid service, and we learned a lot at that time from our setbacks and our gains. And again, we conducted an assessment and monitored at that time we monitored the situation of human rights of persons with disabilities. These are some of the activities which helped us meet our objectives. On the other hand, in the second round of the small grant, we also built the capacity of our organization, and we set up an official website. Anyone can, at this time, anyone can visit Ethiopian Lawyers with Disabilities Association website, and can get a number of information about what we are working right now, and our mission, our vision, and other related informations. And again, we also developed a number of very crucial organizational manuals and working procedures, which includes financial manual, human resource manual, so on and so on. And again, at organizational level, we set up an intercom system which helps us to increase the security of our office. So just we are now to start the third round project. Not only that, this is also another great opportunity for us for coming to the US to discuss with almost 8-9 partners, and to promote our activities to the State Department and another relevant organizations. So we strongly encourage NDI to keep all that support that is giving for us, and we are also confident together will bring a change in the disability arena in Ethiopia.
What are some of the biggest successes you've seen as a result of this work, and what are your hopes for the future?
In the last 4 years of operation, we have some, maybe few, success. The first one that I can mention is we were able to, submit an alternative bill of the comprehensive disability law to the government. Almost 90% of the preparation was made by ELDA and its members, and it was one of the historical cornerstones for the disability movement in Ethiopia, because all OPDs, almost all national OPDs, supported our initiatives, and they took it with great admire. So this is one of our successes. The second one is currently we have developed a guideline to manage our free legal aid services, and every month we are receiving about 30 up to 40 cases. Of course, all of them are not treated at court level, but our services are promoted, introduced among the society, among persons with disabilities, and persons with disabilities are, starting to see ELDA as staunchest ally of themselves. So this is a great, plus for us. It is. We are so grateful for India and other partners to make ELDA at this point. So this is also another success. Thirdly, maybe we are leading a number of national initiatives at this time. For instance, because of our presence, because of the fact that people are feeling our existence in the disability movement, they are trusting us. So they choose us for leading a number of national initiatives. For instance, we are the leader of National Human Rights Defenders Network in Ethiopia. We are also the leader of National Steering Committee for the Disability Act in Ethiopia. And again, we are also the leader of National Advocacy Network of OPDs in Ethiopia. So these are some of the successes that we have obtained over the last 4 years of operation. Maybe for the future. Of course, I have a number of aspirations and hopes. Given that our partners are continuing to support our initiatives, and given there are no more worsened security problems in our country, given that the hyperinflation in the economy will be downsizing in the future, we can achieve a number of successes in the future. The first one is, getting the National Disability Comprehensive Law approved by the Parliament. This is our great assignment in the near future. In the coming 3 years or 3 years, we have to have a national disability law, and we have to introduce, and we have to make sure that the implementation should be in line with our interest. So this is my hope, my first aspiration. Secondly, not only at the national level, we need also to be actively engaged in the international human rights mechanism. So we need to be the leader in submitting an alternative or shadow report to the CRPD committee, because it would be the first in its kind if we can manage it. So this is also another assignment that we should work in the near future. And generally, I hope that the rights of persons with disabilities will be ensured, will be guaranteed, not only by the talks and by the speech of the government officials, but it will be grossly recognized within the Constitution. It will be intensively implemented through the laws to be enacted as the follow-up of the Constitution. And again, having the National Disability Law, we will having an independent disability commission which helps our work, which manages and monitors the general situation of persons with disabilities in our country.